Welcome to the show, 5-Stripe fam. I'm AJ. And wherever it is you get your pods, subscribe, share, and leave us a good rating. Welcome to another episode of 5-Stripe Weekly, and it is a somber one in this episode. Man, there's a lot of grief in this one where we're starting off with Anton Walkes has tragically passed away. And yeah, rest in power, sweet prince. I mean, you are forever a part of Atlanta United history. And yeah, I mean, it is definitely incredibly sad to hear about his passing. It was apparently on a Wednesday. And yeah, the incident was reportedly from the Miami Herald that it was a boating accident. But yeah, definitely just incredibly sad. And I mean, a player that from the 2017 season, I mean, he ingratiated himself with the fans, and he played a massive part in our first year, and even came back for seconds. And definitely just a great guy from all accounts. His teammates loved him. The city of Atlanta loved him. And even, a lot of tributes from former teammates and current and former clubs. Of course, we had exposed him to the draft and, to the expansion draft, and Charlotte FC took him. And yeah, I mean, just a very tragic thing at the tender age of 25, and it really just shows you how tender and just fragile life is. So yeah, definitely, just say I love you to your loved ones. Say I love you to your friends. Check in on your friends. Whenever you think of them, just message them. I mean, you never know. Like, it really just shows how, how life is just this, this passing thing, really. And, we all really gotta cherish it a lot more. And, I think, yeah, Anton Walkes, it's something that, in terms of maybe looking back on his career with Atlanta United, I mean, we saw how he really helped us in that 2017 season at right fullback, overtook Ty Mears, and yeah, I mean, kind of solidified that for us a little bit, and helped us kind of climb the table. Yeah, I mean, and that first goal that he had, that knee slide at Bobby Dodd, scoring against San Jose. I mean, the other notable goal that he had when when he played against Nashville SC in 2021, he had gotten that captain's armband. And yeah, just the guy that man, I mean, every teammate that has paid some tributes, I mean, it's just, they speak about just, how good of a guy he was, a bigger brother to them, especially George Campbell and George Bello. I mean, just someone that, by all accounts, I mean, just a class act. And, he will be missed greatly. Thoughts definitely go out to his family and his loved ones and everyone who's hurting at this time. I mean, it's not even just, the people in Atlanta. I mean, even like a former Atlanta Hawk and Dennis Schroeder, paid a tribute to him on his shoes. And, like, he definitely had far-reaching, kind of impact in people's lives, from Pompeii to Tottenham to, obviously MLS in the States. And so, yeah. And also, I mean, this tribute from Twitter user Laney Red, this art piece is really, really incredible. And I have it on the screen currently. And if you're on a podcast, just come over and check it out. But it's, yeah, I mean, it's just, it just speaks to kind of how he lit up a room and how he, you know, always held himself accountable to fans as well. If he had a bad game or any of that, like he was definitely someone that's, was responsible for his actions and for his play, and that's really all you can ask ever from any player. And so, yes, rest in power, Anton Walkes, forever part of Atlanta United history, and yeah, definitely a very, very sad thing, and definitely the most sad thing, in this episode. But unfortunately, we have more sadness to report. But before that, Garth Lagerwey, he spoke to the media, and yeah, I mean, it was some pieces about what he's expecting to do, and one of the major things is that he is upgrading our analytical departments with some more technology and personnel. Definitely something that is sorely needed, and I think you would see kind of the history with Seattle Sounders, the prolonged success that they've had, they've been able to have because of his oversight on analytics departments at the Sounders. And so it's something that's he mentioned to AJC that something that he wanted to revamp was culture. And he mentioned that he wanted to that he wanted to make this kind of like a law firm. And he realizes that people might roll their eyes. That's really like a Fortune 500 law firm. But he mentioned that when he worked there, he was trained and taught to be responsible for just 1% of that case, but it's yours to own. And if you did well, you get more work to do, and that type of thing. And I mean, he basically mentions that everywhere he's gone, he's come up, he's taken it very seriously. He's in terms of those trajectories in his previous jobs at RSL, Real Salt Lake, and at Seattle Sounders. I mean, he's definitely taking that onus, that responsibility to be a leader. And he's definitely thinking that business isn't too different from sports, and that you get a report card every week and all that. But in terms of sports, obviously it's a slightly different, where it you get written about in the paper, and it's a little bit slightly different. But I mean, it is definitely for Garth Lagerwey, he's really making sure that there's all the aspects that he sees that can improve. He's going to try to bring his experience, bring his know-how in order to make this kind of a first-class organization that we know it can be. And in terms of the previous kind of things that he's been able to do, he obviously was a little bit more on the players side of things and salaries and all that, but now he's going to take over a little bit, definitely not just a little bit, but the main responsibilities that, say, a Darren Eales was doing. And while he may not be, like he said, Garth Lagerwey said, he might not be like Darren taking shots in the parking lots, but he with fans, he will definitely probably be just as kind of placing that importance on the supporters and that relationship as he as his predecessor. And they've already done some meetings with some supporters groups to kind of do a little introductory meeting, but also he looks forward to talking with the supporters on a regular basis and seeing what they what we're needing, and holding the team accountable for what changes we're making, what progressions we're going to do. So he's saying they had the meeting over at the Blank family office, and he got to know them a little bit, and he's looking forward to more of that and continuing to make this unique part of the soccer culture, and certainly the Atlanta United culture, kind of a robust sports group. So he had previously also met with supporters groups in Seattle as well, and he said his job was voted on every 4 years by supporters, and there were 2 votes, 87% in one and then 90% in another. So he's saying, I like to think that I have some background in terms of listening to supporters and having a positive relationship with them. So yeah, no one's ever going to have 100% approval, but definitely that is a strong thing to note here. And on the Apple TV thing, I think this is the really interesting bit, is that Doug Roberson of AJC, he asked which will be more impactful to Atlanta United, the Apple TV deal or getting to host the World Cup games in 2026. And he mentioned that he hopes both, but when we talked about the innovation that is Apple TV, like people can see us all over the world, I think it's an amazing opportunity for the league and to be a trendsetter here. It's one of the first leagues to go this direction. And he said also that you look at the demographics of MLS, it's young, it's hip, it's tech focused, it's diverse, very much Apple's audience. So I think it's a really good fit here. And I think it's going to, I think people are going to watch us play, and we're going to get calls. I want to play for LA United. Look at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Look at that crowd. It's the biggest in America. And it's like, he also mentioned about the World Cup, and he's saying that's a generational opportunity. And when you look at the league as a whole, the run up in the next 4 years, when you talk about why did I come here, I know you didn't ask that, but I like to make everything about me. He's got a little bit of a candor as well, but he says, I have 3 boys, and I wanted to go to a place that was going to be a host city, because I wanted to have wanted my kids to have that experience. And I think it's such an opportunity in Atlanta, specifically because of the legacy of the Olympics. And so definitely Atlanta definitely had a come up after the Olympics in 1996, and that come up after the World Cup could be something significant as well. So definitely really heartening news to a degree that there is a purpose while he's here. He's trying to not only make Atlanta United have a come up, but Atlanta on a whole as well. So really good stuff there. And also some news over the past week is that Gonzalo Pineda, he seemed confident during his press conference that 3 new players at different positions are on the way. I think that's really interesting, but also the preseason is already kind of going. It's obviously some games are coming up quick, but we definitely have some holes in our roster, and so these do need to come very fast. But one of those holes, obviously, we'll talk about in a few. But Pineda was also asked about his game model, and if that he thinks that he would change a bunch of things in the new season. He said that he doesn't really think that he's gonna change a ton, and it's he's just gonna hope to execute with players that are more of a fit for his system and players like Etienne, and the 3 new players hopefully will be that. So yeah, we'll see with Pineda. Yeah, he also yeah, I mean, definitely it's just Pineda. He's for me, he's on a short leash for me. I mean, he's had this last season now, and it's, I mean, he has to get this team kind of doing what we want them to do, which is win, and playing with a kind of defined style, because we weren't really seeing a really defined style of play. We made a lot of mistakes, and it seemed like not only rifts in the not only in the locker room, but also players kind of down tooling a little bit. It just, he and of course Bocanegra are both on the thin ice that they should be until they can prove otherwise. Because Bocanegra, obviously, we've seen his non-progression really with his time at the club, and you have to think as well the moves that are being made currently. Maybe there are some things to it that you have the guy, the new guy that comes in, and then you have the previous or the incumbent manager or technical director kind of make some moves for you before you maybe let them go. So who knows? Is that the case? I mean, obviously Bocanegra has not been completely a wash through his time here, but I mean, there has just been too many kind of regressions in terms of LA United in this time that, yeah, thin ice is definitely the case. But anyway, so Guzan, he also talked about coming back from his injury, and he talked about learning to enjoy the difficult moments now that he's back from it. He said, quote, "I'm like a kid on the first day, running out there, just messing around and having fun." Talking about preseason, of course. And when it's time to work, it's time to work, but you do it with a smiling face. And he also said during his recovery, he realized that the quote-unquote rage that gets into him while watching games from afar. And yeah, I mean, fortunately, his kids were there to step in and keep him distracted when he was at home. But yeah, he said, quote, I wasn't just, oh, poor me, I put my dad hat on and they don't care. I'm recovering from an Achilles. So yeah, definitely, the veteran presence will be much needed in this squad, and especially kind of the continuity. So yeah, it is what that is. Of course, Braguzan aging, but still definitely, the starting keeper for LA United. But yeah, in terms of the biggest news for Atlanta United this past week, of course, is Josef Martinez being bought out from his contract, and the club used its one off-season buyout, and he no longer occupied a designated spot, and then Josef Martinez, because he has a no trade clause, he has a choice of where he can go, and he chose, of course, to go to Inter Miami. And yeah, they'll retain a portion of his guaranteed contract for their 2023 salary budget. And I mean, that's the interesting bit with MLS, is that MLS owns the contracts for players, and so that budget charge just kind of transfers over to any player that moves to a club, to another club in MLS. But yeah, Carlos Bocanegra, he said some things. I mean, in the press release, he said Josef has played a pivotal role in LA United's history, scoring memorable goals and hosting multiple trophies for moments that will forever live with our supporters. He was a foundational piece who was responsible for helping build our brand into what it is today. We cannot thank him enough for his contributions to the club and the community over the last 6 years. He will always be a part of Atlanta United, and we wish him the best of luck in his future endeavors. But yeah, also he calls Boca Negra. Yeah, he also mentioned something that you know, in his quote that yeah, it is perplexing, but he essentially said that we could have been nasty and prevented him from going to you know, certain clubs, but we wanted to you know, give him you know, give him the choice, and you know, let him go to a place that he wanted. And I mean, I'm just sorry, that's not like, he actually said this to the press. And if that doesn't really kind of exemplify what's going on behind the scenes, like so many players that have left Atlanta United, whether it's LGP, whether it's Julian Gressel, whether it's Darlington Nagbe, there have been whispers. There have been whispers, not confirmed obviously, but whispers of that just lack of finesse from Boca Negra when players are leaving. And yeah, it's there's a lot of kind of resentment towards the technical director, and it is, yeah, just very perplexing. But I mean, to talk more about Josef Martinez though, and this exit, I mean, well, according to Franco Panizo, he tweeted out that Josef Martinez, he also drew serious interest from Austin FC, Charlotte, and Nashville during this offseason. So, I mean, yeah, definitely very, you know, I probably would have preferred him to go to Austin, if anything, because that's at least on the West Coast. We don't have to see Josef Martinez, but see him we will, that's for sure. But yeah, Josef Martinez, in his history with LA United, 158 games, 111 goals, 4 trophies, and I mean, you know, just prolific in his time. I mean, from 2017 to 2019, I mean, just an incredible 3-year run. Of course, you know, he came in as a player on loan, and yeah, shortly after we pretty much made him a permanent transfer. But yeah, scored 19 goals in 20 matches in his first season. I mean, yeah, you know, that record-breaking campaign in 2018. You know, first MLS player to become an MLS All-Star, regular season and MLS Cup MVP in the same season. 31 goals that broke the record at that time, and you know, won the Golden Boot, won us the MLS Cup, and I think broke a duck for Atlanta in terms of championships in this city. I mean, so definitely just an iconic player, and up there in the likes of, you know, just the pantheon of legendary players for not only MLS, but for Atlanta. I mean, you know, I would say up there with Chipper Jones, up there with, you know, possibly like, you know, those elites, you know. So, I mean, it's just definitely, you know, you have Dominic Wilkins rather, and you know, you have, you know, just the iconic players that you say their first name and you know who you're talking about. And Josef, like most people, will at least they've recognized Atlanta United from that. So it is, yeah, you know, we made a superstar here. And Josef Martinez, obviously, he said that you know, this is his Real Madrid or Barcelona, and that he wouldn't leave unless LA United didn't want him anymore. And unfortunately, yeah, you know, it was kind of, the writing was on the wall. The writing was definitely on the wall, of course, with the report from Felipe Cardenas last season and before that last game. And, you know, it's definitely a shame. It's definitely a shame that, yeah, the emotions were still too raw, that, you know, Josef Martinez, even in kind of the dead rubber that it was in that last game, wasn't started, wasn't given a send-off. And, you know, that that kind of locker room, kind of bust up a little bit. It just became, the sticking point that, it kind of made the straw that broke the camel's back. And yeah, I mean, Josef Martinez, he said to the press during his introductory Miami, press conference that, on Atlanta and the fans, that nothing is over. Atlanta have a special side in my heart. We had great days together. They supported me in the good times and the bad. I'm so grateful to them. I wish you the best. And then he also, a couple days later, after he was announced to enter Miami, he said, quote, on his social media, "You will always be the kings of my heart, forever grateful. Big part of my heart will always be here with you all. I love you forever, at Atlanta United." So, yeah, I mean, it seems like, in terms of Josef Martinez, I mean, he, because of his family, his new child, his baby mama, they're living in Miami. He was reportedly shopping for homes in Miami the previous week. It was the place for him to go, and I think it may also make sense a little bit. He was frequent on Lake Lanier. I mean, he found solace there. I mean, it seems like Miami, with the proximity to the waters, was definitely first choice for him. And unfortunately, only one season contract, but it'll be interesting to see if he can make that full comeback. But I know we are all massive fans of Josef Martinez at Atlanta United. And yeah, while you have your naysayers and your people that are saying good riddance, or maybe at the least saying he's a toxic personality, I mean, there's no doubt the legendary status of Josef Martinez for Atlanta United. And while, the production or playing time definitely fell off during the latter years here, I mean, yeah, that, the shouts of building the statue, I mean, yeah, is that his legacy? Should he have a statue here? I mean, it definitely is. We wish him the best of luck at Inter Miami, and hopefully he will not kill us too hard when he plays us. But yeah, it is gonna be hard. And yeah, Bocanegra, he said, "It's an emotional day. The door is always open for him here." But Bocanegra also said that Lagerwey was briefed during his interviews, and he knew what was going on with Josef Martinez. And yeah, I mean, Boca also mentioned that if he feels more pressure having traded away not traded away, but like essentially losing the face of the franchise, new president, no playoffs last year, he said there's always pressure. But also apparently the allocation money that comes from this buyout has nothing to do, or that allocation money has nothing to do with the money used to buy out Josef Martinez. So the all that allocation money is still there. But yeah, it's gonna be very weird to see him in Atlanta with an Inter Miami shirt. And yeah, we play Miami on May 6th, but we will play him at the Benz on September 16th. And so no doubt there will be some Josef Martinez kits at the stadium. I know I've seen a lot of fans already going to buy some Inter Miami kits. I mean, yeah, it makes sense. I mean, a lot of people are Josef Martinez fans. I mean, he's just that, just that bravado, that big of a draw around the league. So yeah, Carlos Bocanegra, he also mentioned on bringing another striker. He said, "Whether we do something now or in the summer, obviously we need to start the season with a center forward, so we want to bring in someone that is impactful, but we're not going to rush into something that we don't feel comfortable with." Boca also said, on the 4-year contract that is on the table for Miles Robinson, he says that it's still on the table and it's unsigned. I mean, yeah, I mean, he said, we'll have continuing conversations, but we're not in a rush or going to take the offer off the table. But that current deal for Miles Robinson expires after the season. So, yeah, I mean, you don't blame Miles Robinson for maybe not taking it because, I mean, you know, he could, after this season, if he plays well and he stays healthy, he could, you know, be on a free to go anywhere, you know, in Europe if he wanted to. And, you know, I think if you're him, like, you know, you're not tied to having to, you know, sign a contract that will tie you here if, you know, that move doesn't materialize. But, and to be fair, I mean, you know, Carlos Bocanegra isn't necessarily, inspiring the confidence with, the moves that he's been making over the years. And we haven't exactly been, you know, that stalwart in the playoffs or, you know, breeding that, that winning, that we have really craved. So, yeah, I don't think you can blame Miles Robinson at all. But in terms of that striker being brought in, hopefully it is, you know, someone that's permanent. But, you know, you never know. It could be someone on loan to, you know, see how they trial and see if they are a fit for the club before they sign him permanently. But moving on from that, LA United, they in the 2023 Leagues Cup, they'll face Cruz Azul, the Mexican side, and also, of course, Inter Miami. So, yeah, the group stage of the inaugural edition, and yeah, it's the CONCACAF competition where all 47 clubs, 18 from Liga MX and 29 from MLS, will play in a World Cup style tournament. And they'll qualify 3 clubs for the 2024 CONCACAF Champions League. And it will take place July 21st to August 19th. So, yeah, we'll see Josef Martinez 3 times this year. So, we will definitely, yeah, that'll be super great. Cool. So, moving on to some transfer rumors. Urawa Red Diamonds, they've yeah, reached an agreement with Celtic for the transfer of Giorgios Giacomakis. Sorry, butchering this name, but yeah, it's a $4 million €4 million package. But apparently, Atlanta United were trying to sign this this player, and yeah, I mean, it was, yeah, definitely someone that maybe we could have gotten. We'll never know in this sense, but you know, if it finalizes, I will you know, keep you guys updated on this transfer rumor. But another transfer rumor is the left-sided center back Alexander Callens, formerly of NYCFC, who of course is a free agent, but he reportedly is close to signing with Girona FC in La Liga. And yeah, the 30-year-old Peruvian, yeah, he's definitely one of the most sought-after ones. And I mean, if he can get to La Liga, it would make sense. So yeah, apparently he will sign a 2.5-year contract. And yeah, it's a big miss because he is a winner. He is very, very talented, and he would bring some definitely some really, really good experience to this side that definitely needs winners and players that you know, maybe in a win now mode. Because yeah, you know, there are while we can rebuild, there also are players that can help us in the immediate. But other bits of news is that MLS, they announced that the allocation order is no longer in effect. So yeah, that was due to St. Louis City, the new franchise in MLS, losing out on the asset that was the top spot in the allocation order. And they will retain first refusal over one player of their choosing who is on the allocation ranking list. So that kind of just does away with all the allocation order in the league. And essentially, yeah, I mean, it's like any player that's, you know, becomes a free agent and that type of thing, then, you know, it there's not that order that it actually has to go through anymore. yeah, it'll be very interesting. So, or not just free agents, but players that are released and whatnot. They all have that order. But anyway, Atlanta 2, they announced Friday the return of 8 players from last year's team, in addition of 3 new players to the roster. That would be Sebastian Guerra, he's a goalkeeper, and midfielder Kofi Twumasi, and forward Kareem Tamimi. And yeah, in terms of the returning players, there's of course Vicente Reyes, defenders Raymar and Nelson Orji, midfielders Nick Firmino, David Mejia, Emenike Nwogu, Tony Tiente, and Jonathan Vilal. And yeah, a bunch of them have also made their youth national teams, and yeah, it's definitely fantastic to see, because yeah, there are some very talented players at Atlanta United 2 right now that of course will be playing in the new league for all the MLS reserve squads. But yeah, Vicente Reyes, one of them, he started for La Roja in their Sudamericano opener against Ecuador. But yeah, definitely, yeah, just really good to see a lot of our players getting that recognition and those call-ups. And speaking of that, former players, yeah, just really kind of crazy in the sense that was talked about all the time here during his time with the Five Stripes. But Julian Gressel, he became a U.S. citizen on November, and yeah, he got his first call-up to the U.S. men's national team. So congrats to Gressel. He, of course, was born in Germany, but married an American girl, and so now he can play for the U.S. men's national team. 29, but yeah, obviously still very, very useful. Maybe not the part of the setup for the next World Cup, but definitely a player that will get some call-ups to the U.S. men's national team now. So congrats for his first call-up, and as well to another former Five Stripe in Brandon Vasquez. And so yeah, I mean, he had the choice between Mexico and the United States, of course, because he's pretty much a dual citizen, but he has gotten that call-up, and I think it's overdue. I mean, he probably should have maybe been a part of that World Cup squad, because, my God, we needed some forward attacking options for sure. But last bit of news is that, yeah, former Five Stripe Jake Mulroney, of course, who had moved on to Orlando City in that trade. He, yeah, he has, kind of per his request, apparently, he's moved to Patrick's Athletic FC of the Irish Premier Division. So, yeah, he signs a multi-year deal, and he is no longer in MLS. But yeah, wish him the best. Always a good guy in and around the team. And when he was traded, it was kind of a shock. It was like, yeah, I mean, a player that definitely had his usefulness with us. So yeah, definitely good to see him not in Orlando City purple. So yeah, that is the news, guys, and pretty much the entire episode, a somber one. And yeah, if you got to the end of this one, yeah, massive appreciation. I mean, this was not easy to, talk myself into here as Anton Walkes. Definitely, that is, just incredibly sad to see him, to see his passing, and Josef Martinez, obviously, as well. Just a massive part of the Atlanta United setup since day one is no longer in Atlanta. And yeah, we have some big moves ahead of us coming up. I'll keep you updated on all the socials and on here, of course, on Five Stripe Weekly. So keep it locked. But in terms of wrapping up this episode, it's we've of course got the question of the day, and the question of the day is, What is Josef Martinez's lasting legacy in Atlanta? Let us know in the comments below. Looking forward to what you have to say. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. I've been AJ, and I will see you in the next video.